Thanks, Riaz. Good morning. It is just coming up on 6:30. A state of local emergency has now been declared in the Caribou Regional District following the Mount Polley Mine tailings pond breach. Meanwhile, the company responsible for the environmental accident has apologized while downplaying local health concerns. Yesterday, the Vancouver office of Imperial Metals was closed, with no one commenting despite media inquiries. Later in the day, the company's president held a news conference in the town of Likely. He addressed the failure of the tailings pond at the Mount Polley mine, which spilled billions of liters of wastewater, contaminating the area's waterways. Imperial says the spill did not contain mercury, but only a low level of arsenic.
We have to work with the community to try to gain trust back. We have to work with the province and other officials. You know, I'm sure we're going to need a raft of new permits to put that back. That's beyond my capabilities to say that I'm going to be able to do all that.
I don't want to get too, worried about it at this point, but we are doing everything we can to fully understand the extent of the damage, and of course we always learn great lessons from these kinds of things, and we'll be working with the mine and across ministries to rectify the situation as soon as possible.
A water ban is still in effect for those who live, camp, and work in the area. People in the Caribou say they warned Imperial Metals in 2011 about safety concerns surrounding the tailings pond. Meanwhile, environmentalists are sounding the alarm.
We're worried that this is going to affect the water, absolutely, but we also know that this is a way to kind of strengthen that protectiveness that the public will hopefully begin to have or possess around our waters in BC.
Testing on the wastewater is still being done by the Environment Ministry to determine potential dangers. Results of toxicity tests are expected by tomorrow. TransLink continues to deal with the fallout from last month's Skytrain headaches, and it turns out the system runs on technology you may have used for a school project 2 decades ago. For more on this story, we catch up with Greg Harper at Stadium Chinatown Station in Vancouver. Greg?
Good morning, Jody. We are learning more about the operations at Skytrain. The media were actually given a tour of the control room yesterday, which is located in Burnaby, and it's pretty interesting. Take a look here. Lots of monitors being used and technology as well. The heart of the operation, Pentium processors with software that was designed in 1992. The computers talk to the trains, and they're backed up by floppy disks. The first system-wide shutdown of Skytrain last month is being blamed on the computer system. The second shutdown, which happened days later, is being attributed to human error.
People laugh at the floppies. This computer works on Pentium, and VCC is one of those things that when you try to develop the software, you have to pick a time-proven base or platforms in order to develop your software.
It's pretty shocking that a company like TransLink will still use that. I mean, people have phones that are more advanced than that, and the amount of money they make, it's pretty discouraging for a TransLink user that this could happen again. I
mean, why isn't it updated? It should be updated. I mean, look what happened last week. Look how I was one of them that was all pissed off because I couldn't hop Skytrain. No, update it.
TransLink and the BC Rapid Transit Company are defending Skytrain, saying it's a very efficient system and that an upgrade isn't needed yet. Meanwhile, an independent review is being conducted right now, looking into the 2 system-wide shutdowns that happened last month. Jody?
It's going to be interesting to get the results of that review. Thank you so much. Greg Harper reporting live for us this morning. In other news, a Mission man is in hospital with serious injuries after being attacked during a home invasion early this morning. RCMP are looking for 3 men who apparently forced their way into a home on Diamond Avenue just after 1 a.m. A 25-year-old man was hit in the head several times. He now has fractures to his skull. Police are also looking for a silver car, possibly a Mazda. BC's education minister is optimistic a deal can be reached with teachers in this province before the start of school next month. This comes as both sides have agreed to sit down to talks on Friday. The bargaining groups have not met since talks broke down in late June. The government has plans to provide parents with $40 per day for every student under 13 if the strike continues. But Peter Fassbender believes there is reason for optimism.
That is an encouraging sign to me because it's the first time that the entire teams on both sides have met together, and so I'm looking forward to seeing negotiations begin in earnest as of this Friday. In saying that, I'm also optimistic that we can reach a negotiated settlement.